Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Classic Comics. This is going to be my review of the first episode of The Mandalorian, the new Disney Plus series. I didn't want to get Disney Plus because I'm not giving Disney my money right now, but someone I know has it, and they let me watch it, so I'm going to go ahead and go over the first episode here. Now, first off, back when Disney first bought Star Wars, they had announced a Boba Fett movie as one of the standalone movies they were going to do. Now, that was later canceled, and they wound up doing Solo instead. I'm pretty certain that this show is basically that Boba Fett movie repurposed into a series. Now, why not just do Boba Fett then? Well, part of the deal Disney had with George Lucas, apparently, is that Lucas still gets a portion of earnings from characters that he created. That is, if they use Boba Fett, then they have to pay Lucas some money. So they just got rid of Boba Fett and then created this new Mandalorian bounty hunter character so that Lucas doesn't get a share of the money. At least that's my suspicion. Now, on to the episode. So this will have spoilers, by the way. Now, it starts with the Mandalorian going to a bar. And yeah, it's very reminiscent of the canteen on Tatooine. There's a lot of that. There's a lot of scenes in bars in the show. Now, the show takes place out on the outer rim of the galaxy, away from the core worlds. So you see a lot of, kind of rundown outposts, cantinas, and sort of rough towns, and lots of shady characters around. Now, he goes to a bar and catches the bounty he's looking for, who is this kind of alien guy. The alien guy is very talky and annoying, and this kind of reminded me of a movie called Midnight Run that came out back in the 80s. If you've seen the movie, you know what I mean. But it turns out that the alien only goes to the bathroom every solstice, so like twice a year, I guess, which sounds a lot like the Orville, because there's a character on that show who only pees once a year. Now, after he's got the bounty, they have to cross over some ice to get back to the Mandalorian ship, so they catch a speeder, a taxi, basically. When you get to the ship, the driver says, they need to get off the ice right away. You don't want to be here when the sun goes down. And then he's immediately eaten by some kind of a whale monster that then tries to eat the ship, and they wind up just, barely getting away. Then the alien guy asks to use the bathroom, and the Mandalorian just lets him wander around the ship, no supervision in anything, which I thought was really just kind of dumb. I mean, isn't the guy going to try to escape? Isn't he going to try and find a weapon or something? And also the Mandalorian asks if the guy wants to go back warm or cold. So it turns out he carbon freezes his bounties for transport. They showed this in the last trailer that was released a couple of weeks ago, and I don't like this. There's lots of callbacks in the show and Easter eggs to the original trilogy, and most of them are fine. But I didn't like this because it doesn't make any sense. He has a carbon freezing unit built into his ship, apparently, so this is obviously something he's been doing for a while. But in Empire, it's pretty clear that carbon freezing people isn't something that's normally done. In fact, the impression is that it hasn't been done at all. Lando mentions that if they carbon freeze Luke, it might kill him. So they freeze Han as a test subject. And Boba Fett doesn't even want to freeze Han because he's worried that Han will die and Han's worth more to him alive. I'm okay with Easter eggs, but they need to make sense, and this thing just doesn't. Now, they go to some planet, and there they meet Carl Weathers, Apollo Creed himself. And, how cool would it have been to have Carl Weathers play a bounty hunter in Star Wars back in the day, man? That would have been cool. But anyway, Carl Weathers tries to pay him for the bounty with Imperial credits, but the Empire is finished, so we know that this is sometime not long after Return of the Jedi, probably, and the galaxy is kind of in upheaval, particularly economically. The Empire's gone, and the Empire's money is no good anymore, but I guess maybe the New Republic isn't really up and running yet, so people are relying on just different types of currency. I like this part. I thought it really helped to sell the setting of the show. So they barter a little over what the payment will be, and the Mandalorian is like, okay, look, man, it's hard out here for a pimp, all right? Give me a break. And Carl Weathers pays him with something called calamari flan, which is some kind of goo that they use for money, apparently. And then Carl Weathers offers him a new bounty, which is very, very hush-hush. The client's very secretive. The target must be brought back alive, no freezing or anything. And so he sends the Mandalorian to talk to him. Now, this is the part that we've all seen in the trailers, where he goes and talks to this older guy who's got kind of, a German accent. It's Werner Herzog is the guy's name. And he's got some former stormtroopers there who are obviously working for him as hired goons. They've obviously had a rough go of it. Their armor's, damaged and dirty. And if you've seen the trailers, you've seen the part already, basically. So he gives the Mandalorian a new bounty and tells him he'll pay the bounty. He wants the bounty alive. He'll take it dead, but will only pay half of that. He then gives the Mandalorian an initial payment in Beskar steel, which I'm not familiar with. It's some kind of metal that's valuable, apparently. So he meets with the leader of his clan next. And the leader turns out to be a woman, played by Gina Carano. And she's also a blacksmith, apparently, because in this futuristic world, they still have blacksmiths for some reason. Really, this whole scene is kind of pointless, and it really could have been skipped. It's clearly only in there to introduce this, strong, independent Wahmand character who is the Mandalorian's boss. So therefore, by implication, she is more badass than he is, I guess. Whatever. I don't know. Like I say, they could have cut this scene out completely, and it wouldn't have changed anything. So then he flies off to some other planet, and they really need to tell you what these planets are, because he goes to this desert planet. Well, is it Tatooine? Is it Jakku? I mean, we don't know. Then he meets this alien voiced by Nick Nolte, who helps him learn to ride these frog-looking creatures called blurgs, I think it was. And then they ride to this outpost, and there they find another bounty hunter is there, and it's an assassin droid like IG-88. But it's not IG-88, this one is IG-11. I really liked this character. He was hilarious, and pretty awesome too. Seeing him blasting in all directions was just really cool. I loved it. Now, at first, the Mandalorian is pissed because he hates droids, so he's like a space bigot, apparently. But then suggests that they work together and split the bounty. And another thing, the droid, so his manufacturers didn't want his design to fall into the wrong hands, like in the black market or whatever. So whenever it looks like he's about to be destroyed or captured, he wants to go into self-destruct mode. And the Mandalorian has to talk him out of blowing himself up. That was funny. But anyway, so then they find the bounty, and it's a little baby Yoda, or one of Yoda's species, which I don't know the name. I don't know if they've ever named Yoda's species, actually. Anyway, the droid wants to just kill it, so the Mandalorian shoots him, and then the episode ends, basically. So, I mean, overall, this show was pretty good. I liked it. It's very simple storytelling, but that's fine. Actually, I kind of found that refreshing. I was also surprised at how much of a guy show this is. There's lots of macho, tough talk and posturing. It feels very much like a space western. The main character, he kind of reminds you of the Man with No Name that was played by Clint Eastwood. He doesn't talk a lot, but when he does talk, it's usually something pretty cool. I was sorry they destroyed the IG-11 droid. That character was hilarious, and I really wish he had stuck around. They went into the story right away, and they let the world building occur as the story progresses, rather than giving an info dump at the beginning. And I like that. And we see a lot of the world. There's lots of aliens. There's lots of creatures. The world feels, very lived in. And overall, I really liked it. Now, having said that, I'm very suspicious of this show. We've been told that it's Pedro Pascal playing the Mandalorian, and we do hear his voice, but we never see his face. Whoever's wearing the armor never takes the helmet off. So is that really even Pedro Pascal under there? Maybe they're just using his voice. I have a strong suspicion that the person in the armor is going to turn out to be a woman masquerading as a guy. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but we'll see. Anyway, thumbs up for this first episode. I'm still not going to pay for it. I'm still not giving Disney my money. They haven't earned my trust back yet. But as long as I can keep seeing it for free at my friend's place, I'll keep reviewing it. So how about you folks? What did you think? Did you like The Mandalorian? Do you think it'll turn out to be a woman under the armor? Let me know in the comments. Also, please like this video and please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell for notifications for more videos. And I will see you all next time. Thanks for watching.